Welcome, Corey Quinn here. You've tuned in to a bonus episode of the Deep Specialization podcast. For a limited time, every week, we're releasing a chapter of my new book, Anyone, Not Everyone, a proven system to escape founder-led sales. This is in addition to the weekly episode that we release every Wednesday. In case you don't know me, I'm a 17-year veteran of the agency space. I was recently the chief marketing officer at an agency called Scorpion. While there, we grew revenue from 20 million to 150 million. We also grew the sales team from 6 people to 100. We grew the company from 100 people to 1,000, and we grew the number of clients from 1,000 to 14,000. My passion is helping agency owners simplify their marketing and escape founder-led sales by becoming a vertical market specialist. I wrote this book because through my experience in scaling Scorpion and also working with my agency owner clients and interviewing many more on my podcast, this very podcast you're listening to, I've seen the awesome power of specializing in a vertical market can have in scaling. By listening to the book, I hope you embrace and deploy the strategies and tactics I share. If you want to get the full audiobook for free, you can go to anyonenoteveryone.com. That's anyonenoteveryone.com. It's available today. Now onto the episode. Chapter 2, 6 Reasons to Become a Vertical Market Specialist. In a busy marketplace, not standing out is the same as being invisible. Seth Godin, author of Purple Cow. After 5 years working with anyone who would hire them, Joe Sullivan and his partner at marketing agency Gorilla 76 decided to be honest with themselves. They explored what they liked doing, what they were good at doing, and where they were profitable. This led them to decide to specialize in industrial manufacturing clients. In his interview with me, he shared, quote, "I remember it being a little bit scary when we changed whatever it said on our homepage at the time. Probably some ridiculous statement about how we do everything for everybody. That was a big shift," end quote. The result? Today, they run a multi-million-dollar specialist marketing agency that deeply understands their client base, is differentiated in the market, and laser-focused on providing outsized results for their clients in the industrial manufacturing vertical. In other words, they're deep specialists. From Joe's perspective, quote, "The benefits of specializing far outweigh the risks and the challenges," end quote. Let's talk about the benefits of becoming a vertical market specialist. Benefit number 1, it simplifies sales and marketing. It's like having a map when traveling through unfamiliar territory. By focusing on a single vertical market, you immediately know where to go. You know which buyers to target, which conversion copy to write, which lists to build, which content to create, which PPC keywords to buy, which SEO keywords to rank for, which conferences to speak at, which case studies to produce, which data points to create, which associations to get involved with, which competitors to research, which podcasts to start, which podcasts to be a guest on, and so much more. This specificity and clarity gives you time and makes your sales and marketing infinitely more impactful. Benefit number 2, improves sales confidence. Salespeople crush quotas in environments where they have momentum and confidence. By selling into a single market, they'll become familiar with the vertical buyer's business, including their unique pains and problems. Your salespeople will become more knowledgeable about the business than your buyer when it comes to marketing, allowing them to teach and guide the buyer during the sales process. This elevates your sales conversations out of marketing tactics and into business strategy, resulting in more value for your prospects and distinguishing your agency from competitors. They'll also learn the buyer's inside language, industry trends, and major players. The result is more trust and familiarity, which leads to more sales. Jamie Adams, Chief Revenue Officer at Scorpion, told me, quote, "Your salespeople get more confident by specializing in a vertical. Some of our HVAC salespeople could probably walk into an HVAC company today and actually be pretty good general managers or operational managers. The result? They're probably going to sell more things, End quote. Benefit number 3, removes friction from the buying process. Have you ever lived in San Francisco? If so, chances are you don't say the term San Fran. Maybe you say SF or the city, but never ever San Fran. Merely saying the term San Fran in the greater Bay Area immediately exposes someone as an outsider. You wouldn't know this unless you were an insider. People who live in a city like San Francisco, work in a trade like plumbers, or are part of an industry like higher education use an insider language based on shared experiences, skills, or values. You can call it jargon, lingo, or slang, but using it in a group signals you belong. Naturally, those outside the group don't know the lingo. And if they use a word or a term that exposes them as an outsider, well, then they're held at arm's length. Here's an example. Do you know what an FDD is? How about an NAF? Or an LMP? Chances are, if you're not from the franchise industry, you'll have no idea. But people in the franchise industry use these terms every day. If you were trying to sell your agency services to a franchise brand and they happen to ask something like, "Does this get funded by the NAF?" your response would immediately reveal whether you're an insider or an outsider. While learning your buyer's lingo isn't necessarily a groundbreaking idea, the reason it's important is buyers in a vertical market care greatly about whether you can solve their specific problem, not a generic version of their problem. One of the ways you can communicate that you're capable of solving their specific problem is by knowing their insider language. Your buyers care a lot about working with people who truly understand them. They want to work with insiders. Knowing you're an insider removes some of the friction in the buying process. Chris Yano, founder of Rhino Strategic Solutions, an 8-figure digital marketing agency specializing in HVAC companies, told me, quote, "Being an expert in their field comforts your buyers because they know you know their business," end quote. Being an insider is a key differentiator and competitive advantage for your agency. So how do you learn the inside language of your vertical buyer? Spend lots of time with your vertical buyer, solve their problems, and truly care about them and their success. Meet with them regularly. Join their associations and social media groups. And read their industry publications. Over time, you'll pick up on patterns of insider words and phrases, and you'll begin to understand what they mean within the greater context of their world. You want a shortcut? Attend a conference. Alan Dibb, he's the author of the One-Page Marketing Plan, explains, quote, "I attended a conference for the pharmacy industry, and in half a day of hanging out with these people, I knew more about their industry, their pain points, what they're suffering from, what their hopes, what their dreams, what their desires are than if I spent 6 months trying to figure it out. Now I can enter that conversation going on in their mind," end quote. Take note of the key phrases and adopt them in your communication. For example, your website, collateral, marketing, and sales, to signal that you're part of the tribe. Your generalist competitors might claim to be specialists and faking it, or they won't go to this level of detail in their language, much less in their service offering. Terry Dry, the co-founder of Fanscape, an agency that was sold to Omnicom, told me, quote, "You may use their insider words, but they're still going to sniff you out. You should be smart enough to say no and go, 'We don't know that, we're going to get killed in this pitch,' or worst case, 'We're going to get hired and then we're going to suck.' So why would you do that?" And of course, he's talking about the realities of trying to fake it in a sales pitch. Here's a deep specialization pro tip. Join active social media groups in your vertical market and observe the ongoing conversations to accelerate your knowledge of insider language. Benefit number 4, it makes you extraordinary. As Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy write in their book, 10x is easier than 2x, quote, "Whatever you focus on, you develop a finer, more nuanced, and more specific understanding of," end quote. When you focus your time and energy on serving clients in your chosen vertical market over an extended period, you notice patterns that generalists miss. Noticing and acting on these subtle patterns improves your marketing, sales, and the value of the service you provide. This client intimacy leads to your agency exceeding your clients' expectations. And when you do that repeatedly over time, you build loyalty and generate word-of-mouth recommendations. Here's an example. Imagine for a moment that you own a lead gen marketing agency that exclusively works with plumbers. Not attorneys and plumbers, not roofers and plumbers, not HVAC and plumbers, just plumbers. Day in and day out, the only thing you and your team do is help plumbers find leads generated from the internet. You're a plumbing vertical market specialist. After months of serving your plumber clients every single day, you'll learn that out of the 25 different types of plumbing jobs your clients can do for a residential client, which is everything from clogged drains to pipe leaks to water heater replacement, what they really want are repiping jobs. A repiping job means a plumber is called in to install a whole new system of hot and cold water lines across an entire house. Plumbers love these jobs because they're multi-day, high-margin jobs that don't require messing with a stinky sewer line. Armed with this knowledge, you build a marketing system that over time consistently and reliably finds repiping jobs for your plumber clients. It's not perfect at first, but with effort, you become the best in the country. In other words, through specialization, you're able to provide significantly greater value to your plumber clients than your generalist competitors ever could. Specializing allows you to become an expert in solving hard, expensive problems for a specific audience. When you become a specialist, you're rare and valuable, so there's no limit to the demand for your services. If you're concerned about narrowly targeting a vertical such as plumbers is thinking too small, well, you may want to think again. Today, there are 156,968 plumbing businesses in the U.S. Assuming you had just 3% of the plumber market, you'd have 4,709 plumbers as clients. If your average revenue per client is $10,000, your plumbing-only lead gen company would be doing $47 million annually. Not bad. Deep specialization pro tip. Anyone perceived as an industry generalist is usually the lowest paid. Benefit 5. Scales through systems. When you market to, sell, and service a specific client in your vertical market over and over, certain aspects of your business will become repetitive, and this is a good thing. You'll begin to recognize patterns in how and why they buy, what offers they respond to, what inside language they use, which conferences they attend, which podcasts they listen to, and so on. You'll also notice emerging patterns as you serve them as clients. For example, you'll see how they like to be onboarded. Do they like a hands-on approach? Or would they prefer watching onboarding videos? How often do they want to be contacted? And so on. These patterns allow you to refine and improve the quality and impact of your sales, marketing, and client service. They also pave the way for you to build systems to scale up your business. Documented processes ensure that the most important things get done the right way every time by everyone. I recommend creating an easily shared, globally accessible document for each business process. For example, you could use Google Docs. As you and your team use those documented processes, look for manual, repeated actions that don't require human effort. It could be a copy and paste here, an email notification there, an update to a project plan everywhere, and so on. For these actions that don't require human interaction, you can use software. For example, instead of asking your clients to send an email every time they want to make a change to your website, have them fill out a simple form that collects everything your designers need. This way, your designers can quickly fulfill the request asynchronously without relying on intermediaries like project managers or client success teams. Using software to automate these tasks frees up your human capital, like your time and your team's time, to work on higher value activities that can't or shouldn't be automated, such as connecting with clients. Systems remove everyday human error that can negatively impact your client's experience and your business's reputation. Systems also reduce the need for synchronous communication, instead allowing your team to do more work independently. As you grow, your systems will improve the consistency of the value you create. Providing a high-value service consistently over time results in more new clients. Deep specialization pro tip. Empower your team to own the creation and upkeep of process documentation to ensure that your system is accurate, used, and effective. Benefit number 6. Accelerates word of mouth. Business owners and professionals prefer to socialize with others in their vertical. My wife, for example, is a psychiatrist and a mom. Guess how she likes to relax? Connecting and chatting on the Physician Mom group on Facebook. As of this writing, the Physician Mom group on Facebook has over 80,000 members and about 200 posts every single day. Here's another example. There are approximately 17,000 new car dealerships in the United States. While not every dealership owner knows every other owner personally, they're all within 1 degree of separation. This means that the owner of the BMW dealership in Santa Monica, California, is 1 phone call away from the owner of the Porsche dealership in Portland, Oregon. This networked characteristic within a vertical is further amplified at natural gathering spots, like trade conferences, member associations, and online communities. For example, dentists have dozens of conferences every year, including the Greater New York Dental Meeting, which 9,692 dentists attended in 2022. The American Dental Association has more than 161,000 members, and the dentist in their Facebook group alone has 41,000 members. In addition to asking colleagues for referrals, people in a vertical market want to know how the top-performing business owners have an edge, especially when what they're doing is new and driving unusually good results. It's human nature to talk, and the innate network effect that exists within a vertical is put on steroids at conferences and events. When you provide outsized results for your clients, your reputation within that vertical will grow, and word about you will naturally spread. Call it going viral or word of mouth, it is the holy grail of marketing because it means that your current happy clients are spreading your agency's brand for free. Positive word of mouth and referrals compound over time within a vertical market, allowing you to rely less on expensive paid media and advertising in the long run. Ryan Golgoski, founder of 180 Sites, told me, quote, "From an agency perspective, once you hit the 100 client threshold, that's where it starts to really take off. Your clients are going to refer you. The relationships you've made with everyone in the industry, they're going to refer you." End quote. Deep specialization tip. As you enter your vertical's pre-existing networks, find ways to add value by answering questions and generally being helpful. Okay, so how do you choose a vertical market? In the next chapters, I'll teach you how to identify the deep specialization that's perfect for your agency. Chapter takeaways. When you adopt a vertical market approach, 1. Sales and marketing become simpler, more efficient, and effective. 2. Your sales team builds confidence, momentum, and impact. 3. Being an insider removes friction from the buying process. 4. You exceed your clients' expectations with deep, targeted insights. 5. You turn repetitive patterns into effective systems for scale. And 6. You deliver superior service, retain more clients, and build word of mouth. Hey, Corey here. I hope you enjoyed that chapter of my book, Anyone, Not Everyone. If you want to get the full audiobook for free, you could do so right now by going to anyoneNotEveryone.com. That's anyoneNotEveryone.com.